Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Chasing Fruit Loops. I'm Princess Geri Cannoli, and this is my show from Paradise Studios. Welcome, everybody. How's it going?
Fantastic.
Doing great.
Everybody's
right.
good?
Technology is unbelievable these days, right?
I know, right? Vicky, what do you have there, Vicky?
This is my 1 week old French little bulldog, Butchie. He doesn't even, I know, he doesn't even have his eyes open yet. I just had to debut him.
Very awesome. Mr. Fred, what is up with you? How's things?
Things are on lockdown, but I haven't stopped playing. Still doing writing. We're still trying to get ourselves together, and we're having a great time.
Right.
I'm sorry?
Oh, I was going to say hi to Mr. Marty and shake his hand. Hi.
There you go.
How are you? I've never met you, so I'll be meeting you soon.
Yeah, it's an honor to be on the show. I know that. I have a lot of mutual friends with you, so we'll get to that down the road.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what's new with the band? Somebody talk to me. What's new and exciting with the band, guys?
This band actually is new and exciting because this band doesn't just sit with what we have. We're always working on new stuff, new material, new punctuation. This is really an active band as far as whether we're alone or this virus keeps us apart. Everybody's working on something, learning something. It's a good band for that reason, I think. You know, you guys are great.
Yeah, we've been working on new material for like the past, I don't know, 10 months.
8 months at least.
I got a third song that, thank you. Yeah. So we'll be coming out with that.
Right.
Kind of fun, kind of cool.
So you're not TG Company anymore?
No, but you know,
we have a new name now. Yeah, we don't. Tony's not with us anymore. He's retired in Florida. Hopefully, we can get him back for a couple of gigs, though. So our new name is Defiant. Defiant. That's our new. Defiant.
And how did you come up with that one?
Well, we really are defiant. You know, even band rehearsals. You know, we might go, we might not go. We just really at the bend. And you know, it's a good catchy name. I think it's intriguing.
Well, it's actually we came up with so many different names. You know, it was actually a lot of fun. You know, to toss a bunch of names around. And one day I was talking about my mom and how she used to. I was always in trouble, and how she used to say, "You are so damn defiant."
Didn't all mothers say that?
Yeah, there you go. And that's exactly, so Fred said, "Hey, wait a second, what'd you say?" So that's, hence the name. So here we are. Sounds like
it was quite very intriguing session between the three of us, going back and forth and all around. And I can't believe that we actually talk together like we play together. Lots of counterpoint. Yes, I like it. No, I don't. I hate it. This sucks. Throw this out. Put that in. Let's extend that. I got a great idea. How about some ideas? How about some new approaches? And so finally, after the smoke cleared, we finally came up with a name, and it's wonderful. It really is. I think it's.
And what kind of music will you be playing?
We're not going to tell you because we're defiant.
Yeah.
Oh, you're going to be a wise ass, are you? Ooh.
Well, you know,
the ass word.
We're going to work with it. We're going to work with the title. We're going to be as defiant as she used to be, and that's what's going to keep this band young and our music fresh.
Used to be.
Oh, he's a feisty one.
Great
stuff. And Marty, what's in back of you? There's a whole setup. It's a whole kit and caboodle.
Well, I'm in the laboratory at the moment.
Oh,
I'm in the laboratory. And in the laboratory, I have my own beautiful set, which I've had since I was 15. And I've done nothing but add to, and it's quite beautiful, as you can somewhat see.
Wow.
Some alternative creations growing out of the corners, and I have some completed stuff stacked away. It's always very entertaining down here. I can change my drums, change the tune for whatever kind of music we want to go at, try and make it all appropriate. So I need a big selection of different sounds. And, I have lots of bells, and this is all for that hard rock music. So
now you're going to take all of that out with you?
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking.
No, I'm only allowed to bring 2 drums and 2 cymbals.
Put it on the
I
top
Because
of
I
his
would hate to
Jeep.
be your road crew.
Yeah, right.
I
Well,
used to
listen.
carry stuff in and out for my ex all the time. Forget it. Jerry, help me with the damn drums. I'm coming. I'm just do, you know. Just,
drummers is definitely in a world of their own. You know,
listen,
you
let
have
me
to
tell
know
you
that.
something about your damn drummers. You're a bunch of pain in my tuchuses, and your equipment is, your cymbal bags are too freaking heavy.
You can't live without us. Can't live without us.
Yeah, you're right. Because most of the guys that I dated were drummers.
Marty, it's
We could run
amazing.
tracks. We could run tracks.
Yeah.
She's got you. She
But
got your peg, Marty.
you're not gonna tell me what kind of music you guys are doing?
We're
Oh,
gonna be doing pretty much what we've been doing, but a few surprises. More originals. I finished a third song. I finished a third song, and more originals to come. Besides what we've have already, and just a few surprises along the way. Same rock. Every once in a while we might throw in something from the '80s. Some Benatar or all right, Benatar or the Pretenders. Wham. So Wham.
How about like Kiss Rap Motley Crue?
Yeah, Motley. Oh, I love Motley Crue. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's an idea.
I would say we're pretty tight on the classics, and we've got a lot of creative stuff coming over from that music that we're putting into our new music. But we're tight on the classics. Freddie is a master at keeping them just like they were when they were first produced. So we're good with the Zeppelin and the Ozzy and the Dio, the theatrical stuff. She's very theatrical. I'm theatrical.
God help us all.
Yeah. Hey,
Yeah,
listen,
we're all
Jerry,
very
don't
theatrical.
let them smoke you. I mean, these are people who are extremely talented. So you can only do what you got and what you're working with. And we talk about that all the time. They've been a great pleasure to work with. They make my life miserable, but I'm beginning to love it. It's sort of like a love-hate relationship, so to speak. I
It's
miss
like a
my buddy
marriage.
Tony. Yeah,
Right.
I miss my buddy Tony. I know that if we call him, he'll come running. And
Yeah.
we're looking forward to some really good times. Marty's going to bring that whatever that Gizmo drum kit is on some of our large shows. So that's good. And Marty, don't forget to tell them that half the stuff in your basement's for sale.
Yes, half the stuff in the basement is for sale.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
But I think
a lot of stuff.
I think the direction for us, Jerry, right now, we're trying to get ourselves together a little more emotionally on the original material, and I think that's going to be a great surprise for you guys. I mean, you heard our last pieces, the Bottom Feeder, which was phenomenal, and it's rock and roll. I mean, you hear the vocals that Vicky's pumping out there. Vicky did a wonderful job on the lyrics. And everybody just got together and started composing it. Tony and
A lot of
myself.
fun. It's a lot of fun, actually.
All right. So why don't each of you tell us a little bit about yourselves, like how you got started and how long you've been playing?
Okay. Go ahead, Marty.
You're going to start with me?
Yeah, why not? You're the new guy. We're abusing you.
Yeah. Well, I've been playing since I was
What am I good for, Fred? I just torture people.
Yeah.
So I've known you for 15 years. So what's changed?
Right.
Nothing has changed.
Well,
Tell them the story about when you guys played for me.
Oh my God! What was the name of that the little club on the corner?
Yes, that
In
was
Huntington.
Kickstart. Was it Kickstart or T-Bones?
Let's see.
Next to the car wash?
No, the one on the corner in Huntington.
In the Point. In the
Yeah,
Point.
by New York Avenue.
Okay, yeah, that was a Kickstart.
Kickstart, right?
that's
I never forget that. Tony calls me one day and he goes, "Hey, there's a little club there on the corner. Why don't you go down and meet some people?" And I walked in, and the first thing you said to me is, "What do you want?"
Yeah, what do you want?
I said, "Well, I'm a musician. I wanted to know if we could maybe book a gig. Who do I need to speak to?"
Me.
She goes, "Well, you need to speak to me, but I don't know if I want to speak to you now, so come back later." and you told me to get out.
I was probably setting up for my stuff. Why was I a bitch?
But I did come back, right?
Yes, you did.
And then you gave us a gig about a month later, and what a great time we had.
Oh my God. We were dancing. We were drinking.
Yep.
We
And
were
then
dancing.
the next little thing that you did with us, you went to Red River, and you did a big promo over there with Rick.
Oh, I love Red River.
And,
Yeah.
and your team, you did an interview.
And we
for-
love Rick.
You did an interview.
I'm always
on-
there.
Lines down.
Huh?
I said I always try to get out and, number one, spread the wealth. And number
absolutely.
two, keep my face out there. It's important.
Yeah. Well, Red River Inn was a great place. Rick is a great guy. You guys are great people.
Yeah.
And, Rick went out of his way to set up a whole stage and all the electronics and the monitors and so forth and so
Yeah.
forth. And we pumped. I mean, there was quite a few people. There must have been at least a minimum of 350 bikers. I mean, half of them were parked.
Oh, it was a full throttle gig then. It was a full
Right.
throttle gig. Yeah.
Yeah, you remember that, right?
Yes, I do.
How can you forget it?
Wow.
I mean, all you saw was motorcycles and motorcycles and motorcycles
A lot of cowboy hats and a lot of dancing.
and a lot of beer.
How fun.
Jack is the man.
Fun. It was good fun. Good fun.
Oh, yeah. Hold on one second.
Sure.
All right. I just had to check the time because I don't have a clock sitting in front of me because I'm just a hot mess with this quarantine crap.
Well-
Thank God I go back to work.
I do have a clock in front of me. I knew what time it was. I have a very nice watch. The only reason I was a few minutes late is because of what? I'm defiant. Always.
Lord.
I mean, we can get away with anything we want with this thing.
We're
Well,
defying
yeah,
everything.
We can.
Yeah.
Oh, we can get away with some stuff. I try to keep a little on the cleaner side, just in case if Bobby
So
will, unless, maybe my producer Bobby will get us into like a cooler slot. Right now, this show is going to be, your show today will be on iHeartRadio within the next couple of days, along with Spotify, Spreaker, TuneIn, Roku. So,
All right.
That would be great.
To be announced.
It's a very clean band. So I don't there's no negative connotations with this band. It's a very clean band in every sense.
All right.
Really, Marty? You want me to tell them how many times you came to rehearsal with baggy and dust and smoke all up in your hair and everything?
Well,
It's a working man. He's a working man, Fred.
right.
I know. I'm just
all right.
teasing you.
They call me the working man.
That's right. Marty comes whether he's got a broken arm, he's got a broken eye, or he just can't walk, and he comes anyway.
Yeah,
Good for him. You need people like that.
that's right. Very dedicated.
That's right. That's why
That's
they're
why
very
I still-
defined.
That's why I still have a job. I just keep showing up.
You can't give up, and you'll always have an edge on things.
Yeah, well, when I dress in my little scrubs and my hair's pinned up and I'm playing pharmacy technician, yeah. I went from bartender to pharmacy technician. Never thought.
That's great.
Don't even look back on it either.
It's almost the same thing.
Yeah.
Except for I don't deal with people. I'm in long-term care. I do not deal with people. We are not open to the public. Woo!
You're lucky.
Yeah.
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
So it's about that wonderful time. We're going to take a commercial break and we'll be back in a few.
All right.
Fantastic.
ALJ Service Center, 2100 Belmore Avenue in Belmore. Ray and the crew have an outstanding reputation in the Belmore community, built by hard work, honesty, and professionalism. ALJ specializes in computer diagnostics for today's modern automobiles. Whether it's domestic or foreign, ALJ assures your vehicle is at peak performance when it leaves. ALJ also offers expert restoration and repair on vehicles as well as antique, classic, and muscle cars. Call ALJ for your automotive needs. 516-409-4433. Once again, that number is 516-409-4433.
This is Geri Cannoli. She has just finished working on a collection of short stories about the love and joy rescue animals can bring. Each chapter contains a message about how people should and could be kinder to animals. The book is rated G, meaning family friendly. To order Life in the Pits, send $13 to paypal.me/Geri Cannoli.
Pit of Our Souls, a nonprofit animal rescue that deals primarily with pit bulls but will never turn away any dog, no matter what breed or size. Their primary focus is not only to rescue and rehome those in need, but to educate and rehabilitate to prevent the cycle from continuing. Pit of Our Souls offers boarding, training, and as much assistance as possible to those in need. Call Pit of Our Souls 516-308-6221 or check out their website www.pitofoursoulsrescue.com.
All right, and we're back. So, very interesting. Loving the music, digging everything that's going on. When all of this is up and over, what do you foresee in the future when we're up and running?
Vic, go ahead with that. What do you see in the future, Vic, for us? Tell us.
I'm getting my crystal ball out right now. I'm kind of a fly by the seat of my pants gal, but what do I see? Originals, doing a lot of our own stuff and a lot of stuff we've done. Plus, we're going to add a couple little surprises, to our set. I might be, we're actually looking for a second guitar player. We have a guitar player, but we're looking for a second one. And we're bringing a keyboard player in as well. And I might get on the bass a little bit and or the electric guitar. So we might do some of that as well.
Yeah, Fred, you got competition.
Huh?
Fred has competition.
Oh God, no. Not when it comes to bass. No. Or anything like that. Yeah. But keep him on his toes, So should put a little spin on things, I get bored. So we all, got to keep everything interesting. And we actually have more material that I have like 3 more songs in the works. I just haven't finished them yet. But I do have a 3rd song that's finished. Just have to kind of get it out there, Yeah. We've got to record it. Yes, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. This Zoom stuff is a little, I'm still trying to get used to it. I really want to just get back in the studio. It's so much easier. I was going to say, why don't you tell our viewers a little bit about yourself, how you started out, and then how you caught up with TG and,
Oh, well, okay. I got to give it's a long story. Obviously, everybody has a long story. I was singing at 5 years old. My dad was playing jazz on the guitar. And I started singing jazz when I was 5, which was kind of funny. I was a 5-year-old kid singing jazz. And then my dad is from the South. He's a Southern gentleman. So it was kind of mandatory in our house to learn the banjo. So at about 9 years old, I was a finger picker playing the banjo. Always sang from the age of 5. Then I started, when I went to college, playing guitar in coffee houses to make an extra money, for school. Got out of school and started playing. I was in a couple of wedding bands, the wedding singer. The wedding singer. But that was a real learning experience. That's very hard work, but it was a very good experience. I learned a lot. Very professional musicians. And then I got out of it, for a little while. I was always in bands, here and there, top 40 bands, club bands. And then I became, just like a kind of a full-time mom. I had my kids. My kids are older now, but and then all of a sudden, this guy over here, this bass player, Freddie O, found me on Bandmix. My subscription was expired, and I don't know how the heck he found me, but he did. He saw that I sang Zeppelin, and he was happy about that. And he asked me if I'd like to come and audition and sing some metal. And I said, are you out of your mind? And he's like, yeah. And I said, what are you talking about, metal? I don't sing metal. I don't, I'm thinking he's talking about like speed metal or death metal. And, turned out to be Dio. So he gave me 2 songs. I think it was Heaven and Hell and Don't Talk to Strangers.
That's
and
right.
To be honest, I didn't even know those songs. Oops, did something just come over my screen? But okay, anyway. So I didn't even know those songs, but I listened to them, and I was blown away by Dio and the lyrics. They were very powerful. So I auditioned with those 2 songs, and the rest is history. Then, we got together, and then they had me singing Black Sabbath. I went from singing Blondie and Bruno Mars, who I absolutely love, of course, as well, to singing Ronnie James Dio, Anthrax, which I actually really love too. It was a surprise. It was a surprise to me. But we've been together about 4 years. Oh, and then, then the originals came along, and I thought that they were out of their mind.
Yeah, you should tell them that story.
Oh God. Anyway, people are gonna think I'm nuts, but okay. The story goes: one day, Tony and Fred looked at me and said, "We're gonna start doing originals now." We were in the basement rehearsing, and I said, "Okay, I'd love to hear what you guys have. I'd love to, check it out, and I'll be happy to sing whatever you have." And they said, "No, we want you to write them." And I said, "Yeah, right, okay, yeah." And they said, "No, we're serious." And I was like, "Am I being punked here or something?" And they said, "No, we're serious." So I said, "Well, you got the wrong girl." I said, "You got me singing Black Sabbath, you got me singing Dio. I'm happy to do all. I love it. Now you want me to write originals?" I said, "It's too much pressure." I said, "I'm out of here." I said, "Find somebody else." And I quit the band. I stomped upstairs. Yeah, and I quit the band. And obviously I came back. Freddie called me the next day and said, "All right, listen, just come back. You don't have to write anything." And then about 6 months went by, and I saw something on social media that bothered me. Somebody getting bullied, and that's how the bottom feeder came about. I literally wrote it in my head as I was driving to rehearsal. Got to the driveway and just wrote it down on something that I had in the car, and I showed them, and they were like, "Okay." So we went from there, and then it's just really strange the way things happen. It's funny the way life turns out sometimes, because I'm more surprised than anybody that I'm writing songs now. It's rock and roll. 3 o'clock in the morning, I woke up. Something told me to go downstairs and write some lyrics down, and I was like, "What? Maybe I'll go downstairs and have a snack, So I went downstairs and peanut butter and jelly. I'll deal with that. So I started writing, and it's just the whole song. I wrote it in 5 minutes, and I brought it to these guys, and of course, they helped me out with the rest of it. And then the third song, I think I woke up in the morning with that on my brain, and that we'll bring that around, I guess, in the future. Whenever we get out of this quarantine, which we're all going stir crazy. But yeah, and that's it, Fred. I see you over there, very quiet in the corner. So what do you have to say?
It's okay, because Fred's going to talk next about how he got started in this music business.
Oh God,
Not a problem. Well, let me end off with Vicky's last comments. Bottom line was that when I met her, I used to call her Mary Poppins. Blondie. All of these pop bands that she was singing. Pat Benatar, and I says, "Oh, that's great. I love it. But we don't do that here." We did. But she was like, "What? And so it was a lot of fun. The first couple of months was like tearing teeth.
Yeah.
And she definitely hated me in the beginning, and she still does, but now it's a love-hate relationship. And she's doing phenomenal. I mean, she's doing things that I don't think that she even knew that she could do. And when you have somebody who has a talent like that, you want to build them up. You want to build them until they know that they can function. And Marty's doing the same thing. I mean, he's come from, you know, I don't know, a whole background of emptiness, and now he's coming in with these killer rhythms and brand new original stuff. And it's exciting because the material, you know, when Vicky's writing out these lyrics and the way they're going, the way they're moving, it's exciting to know that you could work with something that has substance. And it's a challenge. Anyway, my story, real simple, okay? My grandfather used to play for Benny Goodman in a big band way back in the day. He got mugged in the train station, and they broke his armature, which is his teeth. So he couldn't really play anymore. He had to go and work for a printer. But in those years, my grandfather was very, very talented, and he began to write material from a keyboard. So he was doing that, and he gave some of the material to Benny Goodman. He says, "This stuff is phenomenal." So he took it, and they started working with it. And then he had his own son, Tony, Tony Wagner, and he wrote Barbara Ann, which is the original Barbara Ann, which is my aunt, Barbara Ann, and that went places. So I've been always involved in a very musical, extremely talented family. My Aunt Carol was like a club singer, wedding singer. You know, she sings like Vicky. She's got unbelievable power. Well, she did 25 years ago. But she'll still get on the phone and chew your ear off. So I was playing saxophone when I met my buddy Tony, and he's a great guy. I mean, he's a saint, wonderful man. I will never meet another man like that in my life. And over the years, he was very patient, and we tried to do a lot of material between me playing the horn and him playing the guitar. And for some reason, it just didn't go around. And then one day he came up to me and he goes, "I want to do some Stevie Ray Vaughan." So I says, "Oh my God, double trouble, just a power trio?" He goes, "Yeah." So I says, "Okay." So I went down my basement that weekend. I took out my theory books and I pulled them out and I said, "I could do this. I could read the music. I could transpose it. It's just a matter of getting the technique down." So for a whole year, this man put up with my ridiculous shortcomings, and he kept encouraging me always to do the right thing. And I guess 2-3 years later, we were playing Stevie Ray all over the place. I think I met you at that time.
Yes.
And I think the words that came out of your mouth the night that we were there is like, "I don't know what the F you guys are doing, but you guys sound like you're like 5-piece band and you're only 3 people." And I said, "Yeah, that's because we're working a lot of counterpoint and a lot of theory at the same time."
Yeah.
She goes, "I've never heard you guys, any band do that except for headliner bands." And
I was blown away. I was totally blown away.
Well, the amount of work and patience that went into that paid off. Yeah. So what can I say? I mean, the same thing these days. You know, I see Vicky, I see Marty, you know, coming in like I did. You know, everybody starts somewhere, and they were very encouraged. But the real key factor is that they're self-motivated. You know, all I have to do is ask, and they push themselves 100 miles an hour, which is a great pleasure because I've played with many musicians over the years on Long Island, and just one disappointment after another. But the bottom line was that when I had the opportunity to meet these people, I was saying, well, you know, God willing, this will work. So that's where we are today. And I think that was where a lot of the motivation for the name Defiant came in. No longer do we have Tony, so TG Company is kind of like settled out now. And Vicky's got some new material, so we're gonna collaborate on that and just push forward. And hopefully, you guys will be very happy with us in the next year. I hope.
Right. Now,
And
Marty, what about you? When did you start banging the drums there?
Well, frankly, I've been banging the drums my whole life since I was 5. I was always a little hyper, but I did draw a crowd. I learned a lot of fancy things. I copied and learned everything from the Beatles to the 80s to the 90s. And I'm a big Rush fan. I'm a big Neil Peart fan, as my set may imply. And that's very technical stuff. However, being in a band and then going a few years without being a band, you get lazy, you get sloppy, you get a little undisciplined. So then when I met Freddie and Vicky, they said, well, that's a pretty unbelievable 110 notes you just played. How can you do 6 notes and only hear here, one there, and one there? And I must say, the truth of the matter is, as far as my experience, as real as it can be, I have been in bands since I was 15 years old. But this guy, being the drill sergeant he is, pushes me to a level that I could never have achieved. And the thing about this band, truthfully, is it really is continually honing the skill. And I see a very bright future for this band. I see a very serious future for the band, because I see that we never think anything is good enough. And really, we're always striving to make it better. We just don't play it the same way and say, oh, that's fine. This band wants it right every time. And in the long run, I think our future is going to be very good because of our sense of discipline, which is truly second nature in this band. And that's what I think defines the punctuation of the music of this band, the music that we write and the music that we copy. We try and give it a vivid, bright, realistic interpretation of how the song really is. She doesn't sing them all the same. I don't play them all the same. So we're trying to do our most to get in the heads of the actual original artists, in the sense of what copy we do. We want to tighten it up to the point where it's very accurate, because that portrays itself in everything that we work out in the future for new music. And I think the music that's going to come out of this band will be a force to reckon with, truthfully.
Now, how about like practicing? Are you guys like getting together like this on Zoom and practicing together, or?
Oh, no, we haven't. And I think that there's a little bit of a delay thing or something, but I'm not sure. However, we have individually been doing our homework, and sometimes that's just as good as a couple of rehearsals.
What are you, the teacher? We're doing our homework.
Freddie's the teacher, and we go and we do our homework.
It's
and
a very.
If we don't, we get detention.
Right.
Yeah.
I was hoping she wouldn't say that.
I was never good with detention, so yeah, I make sure I do my homework.
Believe me, it's not easy being Defiant in this band.
God help us all.
Well,
Boy.
Vicky, what were we talking about before? Shinola?
Well, yeah, I was texting with you. And you know, I told you, okay, our new band name is Defiant. I said, you should know this before we go on the air. And then you said, Wham, you know, you said Wham. And I said, oh yeah, Wham. I love Wham from the 80s. And then I said, holy Shinola. When I started to think about it, I called up Fred when I stopped texting with you. And I called up Fred and I said, what do you think about holy Shinola as our name? Holy, you know what it means, holy, you know, I said, what about holy Shinola? So Fred's like, really, Vic? Come on. He's like, we're done with these names already. It's Defiant and we're done. But I kind of like that. If any band out there wants that, you know, it's yours. I think it's a great name too. Holy Shinola.
Could you imagine?
Yeah, holy Shinola.
I know.
So anyway, yeah, we had some cool names. I mean, I could give some names out right now. I had like Reboot, which they didn't like. But my God, the names we went through, you know, and then just one day I started talking about, you know, my mom used to say, you're so damn defiant. If any of my family's watching out there, I'm sure they could vouch for that. And Freddie's like, what did you know? So that's how we got the name. But, and here we go. And Marty's never going to let us forget the name. So
now with,
we are Defiant.
When Master Fred gives you homework, for you, Vicky, like, do you sit in the house and you're singing and practicing? You're in a closed room doing your thing, or you're just walking around the yard, just doing
Exactly. I just walk around the house and all of a sudden I break out in song. It's really true. It could be a commercial, like a song from a commercial. And that's kind of like my practice, to be honest.
Now I can't see Marty going anywhere with that.
I'm going to tell you the truth. The truth is, Fred gets mad at me because I don't practice enough. I really don't. I'm a crash learner. I was like one of those people like, okay, you got to learn a song, blah, 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 blah. I learn it quickly. If it's a new song for us, I'll learn it quickly. So I'm kind of spoiled that way. But right. When I started singing Ronnie James Dio, I'm actually classically trained, and I believe so was Ronnie James. You have to be to kind of sing that stuff, I think, anyway. But I hadn't done any of my vocal exercises for years. So I had to start doing that, to be honest, and Freddie helped me. Oh, he's laughing over there. Freddie helped me along with, I see him smirking. And it was torture. I forgot how difficult the lessons are. But so I did start to do my lessons again, with that. But I'm definitely, I really don't like, practicing by myself. I'll just like walk around the house and break out in song. And, I have a piano. So sometimes I'll do like, vocal lessons myself on the piano. But that's about it, really, and, unless Fred, when we're together, when this quarantine is over, I'm in trouble. So I'm going to have to, I'm back in the dungeon. I'm back in the dungeon,
You got that right, Geri.
I know. I am.
Not me.
I don't like doing all that, but.
Yeah, let me interrupt, okay? So, Geri, what I do is we give them these songs, and she goes off and does these things. And then we have these conversations. In the conversations, she's like throwing these little innuendos of these little commercials. So she tells me the commercial, but she doesn't tell it to me. She sings it to me. So I'm supposed to get kind of some kind of info. And then I'll say, what about the song that we were doing, Vicky? What happened to that? She goes, oh, right already. And she starts singing it. And forget it. Vicky's got unbelievable power. So then I just sit there with the phone like 3 feet away from my head.
Am I loud right now? Am I loud now?
No, not at all.
Okay, good.
No,
so she's always
tell me I'm loud.
Yeah.
All right, you're loud.
Yeah.
I'm trying to inside voice.
Yeah. But in the same method that Vicky goes through, I get into these big long theory conversations with Marty. And Marty, why don't you share a little bit of your aggravation?
He's so cute, Marty. Look at him down in the corner there.
Well,
I gotta drink something.
I'll tell you, I get my homework, and you can't bluff the homework. You have to physically work it out. Sometimes, it's easy to think you don't have a task ahead of you. So when he tells me to do something, it usually sounds pretty easy until I go down and I try and get it ready for him. And I do put the time in to the physical movements, because really, if you don't change your physical approach and patterns, you really can't hit the accurate notes. And this band does require the accurate notes, and sometimes you need to hear the right note to recognize that it's not the wrong note. And really, with this band, it's always a pleasure, because truly, we're on the cutting edge of becoming as sharp in every aspect as we can. So when I get homework, I know it's going to be difficult, because I come down here and I try it out and I try and get the fundamentals, and then I listen to it and I learn it, and then I have to go back. It's Freddie always advised, put the headphones on, listen to it with nothing else. Then you get the innuendos. Then you get the sense of texture, and then little by little we try and incorporate a couple of different aspects of the music. It's not just boom, 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 boom. It's got to have a nice temperament, and it's got to be where it should be. And it's always a challenge to do the homework, because I must say, when I first got into college, I opened the book and I was like, oh man, this is hard. But by the time I got to the end of the book, I could read chapters. I could ace every test. So sometimes you just need to be regimented and disciplined, and of course afraid, because I'm a little afraid when I walk down there. If it's not right, right. So,
Poor Marty doesn't know what's going to hit him next when he comes down.
Right. I just want to have fun.
Yeah, but we have to make it work.
like the song,
Yeah.
and I like that song too, right? They won't let me
Girls
sing it
just
though,
wanna
but I
have
love
fun.
that song. You know the song,
Right.
right, Jerry?
Girls just want to have fun.
Yeah, Cindy
Yeah.
Lauper. Yeah,
Oh,
that's
I
something
don't
I want to do. I
remember
just want to have fun,
It happened. We
I
have
don't
to make it
remember
and
that.
we do have fun. We really do.
Well, at least we try.
Most of
We
the
try.
time, yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's good. You got to have some sort of fun while you're doing, your music, because you can't just be all boom, 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 boom,
Oh yeah.
and you're not enjoying it. Then
Mm.
it's just like, why am I even bothering?
Well, Jerry,
You know what?
when you
Oh, I'm sorry, Fred.
no, I was going to say, when you go to watch the videos, and Marty's on a couple of them, just cranking it out,
Yep.
and I can see him pulling it. He's pulling it out like a week and a half of practice time, and he's
Yep.
like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. I said, well, if you don't get out there and do it, then I'll just get somebody else. And he don't like those comments. How many drummers do I know of over the years? My point being that I know whether or not somebody could do it, or they're just being lazy. And Marty and Vicky are not lazy at all.
No.
As much as Vicky's making it very light, she's fantastic. She's very disciplined. And let me tell you something. A lot of times when she's down that basement and she doesn't hear the rhythms that she wants to hear from the drummer,
Yeah.
poor Marty gets pure hell.
It's a bad night.
I am so glad that I am not the drummer of this band. And I
Yeah.
tell him all the time, when she leaves, I go, Marty, let me tell you something. If she's not wiggling or dancing side to side or swinging her head around or not singing on the marks, you screwed up.
I'm a rhythm freak. But
Yeah.
really, what is music? What is music? It's rhythm.
It's rhythm.
That's what music is. If you can't have good, if you don't have a good drummer, a good bass, then you have nothing.
Yeah.
That's
Well, I tell you what, I learned a lot of that from Mr. Tony.
Oh, I miss him, Tony. If you're watching,
Tony Del Salvadorian, and the first day I met
every
him,
day.
he was
And
like,
Jerry misses you.
everybody
miss
misses
you.
him. And he would be on the mark, and we would be out in the basement. He goes, "You don't have it on the mark, Fred. The mark." And I was like,
Tony's a
"What are you
rhythm
doing?"
freak too. Tony's a
forget
rhythm
it.
freak. Yep.
He's like a rhythm machine. He just
Yep.
comes off.
Yep. I miss him.
So we've been blessed to have a lot of input, and thank God, for the talent that He's given each of us. And all we're trying to do, Jerry, is pull from each other and to learn from each other. We keep talking about Ephesians chapter 4, there's power in the unity, but we're talking about unity in love, and we're trying to put it into our music. So as much as you're going to come down and get smashed in the face, with some kind of power line, which you will, okay? I'm not going to be. This is not highty-tighty, softy, wishy-wash. You're going to be surprised that the essence of the material just digs down deep in your spirit, and you could feel the love. I mean, the lyrics that Vicky writes is incredible. A lot of times I sit there and I go home and I'm looking them over and I'm writing the parts for it and I'm working out and I'm just like blown away. So God has been good to us. He's been very, very, very good to us. We all come from really battered backgrounds. All.
That's gonna get worse for you.
And it's going to get worse because now they're 100% defiant.
It's Marty.
So, we got to thank a lot
Marty's
of people.
the batterer.
Oh yeah.
Marty's the batterer.
We got to thank a lot of people like yourself who's given us a chance to get out there and play.
Oh yeah.
You guys
Rick,
have always been
always.
good. Anytime I needed something for any type of a fundraiser, Fred was in. He's like, Tony, we're in. We're doing this. And I really appreciate that. It means a lot.
Yeah.
So
We
you
love
guys
it.
got my blessing and you guys got my vote.
I
But you made it right. I mean, you gave us a platform. You supplied a lot of things and a lot of backing. And many, many, many times I was like, Jerry, I don't know if we did this. And she was like, oh, forget about it. Screw that. If they don't like it, they don't have to stay. And I was like, you remember that? You remember
I
that?
do.
If they don't like it, they could leave.
You know what? If you don't want
They
to wait,
leave.
you know what? If you don't want to wait for the next band to come up, just take your little old self and toodles
That's
over
right.
there. Have a couple of cocktails,
Right. But the
Relax.
good thing was that Rick would always come running out and then everybody would come back again. We were only playing like the third, fourth song in the sets. What I'm trying to say is that there's people like yourself that are on Long Island. You got Pauline from the Revolution Club. I mean, she's an unbelievable powerhouse right there. I mean, she's been on our team for the longest time. When she first met Vicky, she was like, "I love you, and you're very blessed, and get out there and kick some ass, girl." And Vicky went out there and she kicked some ass, and she was green. She was green at those times. Georgia from Friends.
Oh,
Another
Georgia.
one. Georgia's a great singer. She used to do a lot of what was it?
I believe like Stevie Nicks and stuff like that.
Stevie
Right.
Nicks. Yeah, she did a lot of
Fleetwood
stuff like
Mac.
that. She had a whole showcase with her husband. I used to go down and listen to them a lot. She's got a little club over there in Mastic, and every time they played out, they packed the place. And she used to come down. Tony and I would go there for a couple of beers and so forth on the way home from rehearsal, because we used to work with Jerry and Louise.
Yes.
You know,
Oh,
Louise, very
yeah.
talented, doing the
Nice
chair
people.
showcase. She was wonderful.
time.
She put a lot of effort and time and years of studying and studying and studying. And it was no different than what we're doing down in the basement. It was just a different set of faces, a different type of music. But, you know, the chemistry is all the same. You got to find that niche with each other. You need to find where that person operates. Once you know that, okay, and you hold that close to your heart, the rest is easy, because it's just technique from there. You know, Pauline, we had other people too over the years that just, hey, here's the showcase. 89 North, Vicky, who was there for us? Was that Bob?
You talking about the bands that we played with there?
89 North, I forgot the owner's name.
Oh, Dan Walsh. Dan Walsh.
Dan
Great
Walsh.
guy. Yep. He welcomed us with open arms. He actually let us put together a show over there. I think it was War Pigs, Dressed to Kill. Dressed to Kill finished out the night. We were third band up, and then there was, I think it was called Morningwood, which was a Stone Temple Pilots tribute band. Amazing bands on Long Island. You know, and we packed the house that night, I have to say, and they were actually blinking the lights because it was 3:00 in the morning and the people weren't leaving. Dressed
I
to
remember
Kill.
that.
Mark Fox, if you're out there. Mark Fox, what a talent, what a great band. And they played longer than they should have because the people wouldn't leave. So Dan was like blinking the lights, you gotta go, you know. So that was a fun night. That was a lot of fun, you know.
So when I first met I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, speaking about getting time to go, it is just about time for us to go. So I just want to wrap this all up. And first, I want to thank you guys for being on. I really appreciate it. And when this nightmare that is just throwing me for a loop is over, I will get you guys back into the studio so we could have like a real interview. And of course, we will go out for a cocktail after.
Absolutely. We miss you guys. Miss everybody so much. And I just want to say a shout out there to all the emergency workers and all the healthcare workers, all the people on the front line, all the badass people on the front line. I mean, you have our gratitude, our undying love. You are the real superheroes. I'm just home here in my house, you know.
Okay.
So and safe in my home, and you guys are out there risking your lives every day.
Yep.
So thank you for your dedication.
All right. So I want to take the time now.
One last thing. Okay. Vicky mentioned that we are looking for a second guitar player and keyboard player. So I'm going to give you my cell number. You can call me directly, and hopefully when this pandemic lockdown is over, we'll get a chance to get together. My cell number is 631-220-6077. Again, that number is 631-220-6077. Call me anytime, text me anytime, and we're open for anybody who wants to, see what we're all about. Thank you, Jerry.
All right.
Princess, thank you so much.
You're welcome. So at this point, I want to take the time out to thank you guys, of course. I want to thank the sponsors that keep us going. I want to thank Bobby Lacera for keeping the magic alive and getting us through this and not having to cancel. Yeah, yay for Bobby. And of course, we want to thank our viewers, because without the viewers and the attendance that they pop in weekly, we wouldn't be here. Next week, I have Jim Moran. Everybody stay safe and have a great week. Mwah.
Love you, Jerry. Love you.
Love you.
Thank you, Jerry.
Love you guys.
Take care. Stay safe and stay home.
You guys.